Hello,
Tyler,
everyone.
you got the intro.
Yeah, I was gonna give the intro here, but you cut me off and I forgot it. Gone. Blank.
Sorry. Do you want me to do one?
Yeah, let's do it.
You sure you don't have one?
Yeah, sure. I don't have one.
I thought this is the bit.
Yeah, exactly. This is what we're doing.
I'm so confused.
On the Vox Cascadia podcast. So, welcome everyone.
Yeah, I think that was our most experimental meta introduction yet.
Yeah.
Welcome back. Thanks for listening, watching, doing whatever you do. With this, within reason, you know. We're coming to you post Tacoma, which was really interesting. These two gentlemen were there. I was not. Work and life and poor planning got in the way. I will take some of the credit on that, you know. But they were there to experience the full thing, see all the stars, rub elbows with all the important people, and soak up all of the Warhammer goodness. We got a special Sierra cameo here.
She's real, I promise.
Yeah. Boom.
It's not
Cameo.
AI.
What's she looking at? That's not. We can't put that on YouTube.
Master, what would you like to ask me today?
Shut up. She's just looking at porn. You know how it be.
Oh yeah.
I
Send
like.
me some.
I'm sure that she's more of like an AO3 girly. You know?
She does like AOE3. Yeah, I can confirm that.
Yeah.
Lots of what is it? Sure Hulock or whatever? Where like the
Super Hulock.
Super Hulock.
Super Hulock. Oh, that's a classic.
Super.
Well,
No, never fucking heard of this.
Classic. So
It is a classic.
all right. Well, you're a classic too. Love you. All right. Well, she's leaving now. So yeah, Tacoma.
Yeah, Tacoma was a good time for them, from what it sounds like. I have major FOMO, like huge. I don't think I've ever felt so much FOMO in my life for an event, you know. But yeah, they had a good time. Chuck, you played in the Kill Team event, right?
I did, yeah, actually. So
For
I played in
3
the
days?
grand tournament, 3 fucking days, 11 rounds.
Sounds
headed up.
sounds like it was a slog from everyone.
You know, it was funny because I got there on Thursday. I headed up from Vancouver about 2.5 hours on Thursday. I listened on the way up there to the Vox Cascadia podcast like 3 times because if you go back to last episode, we had Brandon Bean on to talk about Murderwing. And what I actually think was one of our best like breakdown tactics episodes, because it wasn't like, here's the strategic ploys, here's the firefight ploys, here's the thing, which is usually the format that I set up for people. So this isn't on anybody who else has done it, who's been on previously. But we just kind of bounced all over the place, and it really helped me into my games. So, but I got up there on Thursday. Ended up, I stayed in a hotel about 10-minute walk away, which was really nice to be actually in town. Met up with Dakota from Squad Games. Haven't seen him since last Tacoma Open, and Dakota's like, "Hey man, like you're gonna have a really good time. When you get done, you're gonna love this. You're gonna be ready for more." And Dakota was absolutely right that I was ready for more in like a week and a half. I didn't want to even like look at Kill Team. I am excited. I am more excited to like play more of the game. I feel like for me, at least, this is one of those games where the more I play it, the more I'm like, yeah, I need to play it more. And then when I don't play it, it's easy to not play it. So playing a bunch of it made me want to play more, but not that weekend. And it was way too many games still. Even like got to meet or got to see the Kellys. So Jesh was there, Zeke was there, Elijah, the honorary Kelly, was there too. And even Jimmy before the start of the event was like, fucking 11 rounds, man, it sucks, it's horrible, it's such a slog, I hate it so much. And there was a lot of people that had those same feelings.
Yeah, I don't think they're going back though. From what I've been hearing, it's not likely that they're going to reduce it. But if you don't like 11 rounds, make sure that you fill out the survey that Games Workshop sent you, and you say, hey, I would like to do doubles Friday and then the grand tournament Saturday, Sunday, and give you guys twice as much money. And they will listen to that. That's the key to their heart.
And that's the thing too, is that so since we're tournament organizers, one thing that Games Workshop does that's really awesome is if you're a tournament organizer and you go to one of their big tournaments, like if you go to LVO or Adepticon, I think Adepticon has one, but LVO or like a Games Workshop Open, or Warhammer Open, they have a tournament organizer like social where you get to go, and they usually give you some ply you with some alcohol and food, which is always always the way to my heart. And then you can actually you can talk to the people. So you can talk to Mike, who's like the main like Warhammer guy, and you can talk to Zach Rockner, who's the one of the big events guys too. And this is just the events team. So Thursday night, we were at a McMinimans in downtown Tacoma, and actually met before I get to I met Paul actually from your area. He does Warhammer stuff at Treasure Trove. He organizes like the narrative stuff. He says he knew you.
Absolutely.
So super nice guy. We kind of like paired up and hung out because it's one of those things where it's like a social and you kind of like either introduce yourself to 500 people or you like find somebody and that's your buddy for the night. So
absolutely. No, he's a great guy. Cool dude to hang out with. So
yeah. Unfortunately, it sounds like he's running an event the same weekend as CritCon because we were talking about that.
Yeah.
But Zach, him and I, Paul and I were sitting there having a burger, and Zach came over to the table. He's like, "Hey guys, what's going on? Like, how you doing?" I'm like, "Great." Like, and they want your feedback, and that's what they're there for. It's not just to like win you over. Like, they ask you, they walk up there and they're like, "What can we do better? Like, what do you like? What can we do better?" And I told Zach, I was like, "Hey, like, people don't want 11 rounds. Like our people don't want 11 rounds. Like I know probably 10 or 15 people that did not come this year because it was 11 rounds. And like, it's an extra day of travel. It's an extra day of PTO. It's an extra day of like a hotel. It's an extra day of food. And it makes it tough for people. And
some of us don't have PTO either, like I gotta work as a freelancer when the work comes and like, stuff's really busy for me with the plant closing and everything that I'm doing work at,
Yeah, yours is just the TO. It's not the P part. So but yeah, no, and I told him it's like, hey man, like we, 2 days, 7 rounds was fantastic. Play doubles on Friday. Like we will play. We got the psychos, like the Smalls and Tanner and Ben and all those guys that want to play. They want to play all these rounds. Olivia. It's not me. It's not Tyler. It might be Connor sometimes if he's in the mindset of the game. So
they got to give me another team that I'll go like absolutely nuts for, and then I'll hop back on that train.
Absolutely. Yeah, but and Zach listened. He's like, yeah, like I appreciate the feedback. And he's like, and I told him, I was like, hey, you guys can make more money. Like I'm coming to you with money ideas. And he's like, well, like, and I told him, I was like, you guys didn't increase the ticket price over 3 days, which is fantastic because we got more for 3 days, but we don't want those 3 days. We want 2 days and then maybe a doubles tournament that we can play the next day. But he was saying that one of the reasons that he told me that they were doing this is that they want us to make sure that we don't feel like we're like the redheaded stepchild of their games. That AOS gets 3-day tournaments, 40K gets 3-day tournaments, and they wanted to make sure that we felt like we were right there with them. And I'm like, that is fantastic. Sweet. Yeah, love that you love the feeling behind it. We don't want that. We want to play 2 days and then, and fuck around on Friday. So
yeah, I mean, like one of the best parts about Tacoma for me is always the social aspect, right? It's seeing all your friends. It's going and playing a bunch of high level games, like really intense, and then like between it, like just like seeing all the people, like giving hugs to everyone, which I hear that I've been dethroned on the hugs.
I have to. I'm sorry, Tyler. Like, you were the hug king for a long time, but man,
I think it was just my presence.
It
missed, like
it might have been. Were you maybe like CB, like as a fellow like stoner, you and CB was like channeling Tyler and taking your hug energy like through the warp and channeling, because man,
I hear he's unleashed a new hug snipe technique.
He does, yeah.
And so like that's very powerful.
Yes.
Like in the meta of hugging, that's like a very, very strong one there.
Yeah. No, but yeah, like CB and I played. We can get into that later. But yeah, it was good to see him as always. He's a local down here, but I still don't get to see him that much. And man, yeah, like I'm telling you, like he's got killer hugs, and like his hug game is on point.
For sure. Yeah. It always has been. So I'll give it credit where credit's due. So
yeah.
Connor, and then you played the narrative, right? Which was Saturday, Sunday.
Yes.
What was that like? I mean, like, what was your first impression, like going in and seeing the tables and stuff like that?
Unfortunately, I didn't really have a lot of fun with it. I think part of the transition to 11th resulted in a lot of the tables just kind of looking like 11th, but with the terrain we have rather than the pre-painted ones. like, you know how like in the previous years there's been all the skyscrapers and like the ash waste terrain, and then that one like 2 or 3 tables with like a down Space Hulk, and there's like 1 or 2 with like those Crash Titans. None of that was there, which was pretty disappointing, honestly. It felt like we were just playing 11th, but with, you know, like at the end of the game you get a little thing to add to your character, which is like, that's kind of neat, but I can just do that with my friends. It didn't feel like I was playing on the grand tables that attracted me to the narrative in the first place.
Okay. So that's a huge bummer. The
Yeah.
narrative tables every year have been one of my favorite things to like just go look at and walk through and see like the energy in the narrative area. If you're at any of the grand tournaments, any of the Games Workshop events, go look at the narrative. They really do usually put a lot of work into it. I'm sure they put a lot of work into it this year.
I think the organizers did a great job. I just think, unfortunately, the transition of, you know, 11th came out less than a month ago. There's going to be some growing pains, and a lot of all that previous terrain I mentioned, none of that really has footprints, and footprints are like, or, you know, terrain footprints is the new thing for how cover works in 11th. So that
makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, that kind of results in the tables having to be designed a specific way, and that results in kind of just a weird situation, I guess.
Yeah, I can see that. You know, fixed terrain layouts bad.
It didn't seem like they were necessarily fixed ones, but it just like you got to use it, and so it didn't necessarily come across great.
Yeah.
Connor, one thing you mentioned actually that was unveiled for the first time in the tournament is also, actually, real quick, I want to make give a caveat. We are some sort of influencers, so we're going to bitch about stuff. But if you have a chance to go to one of the Games Workshop Opens or Adepticon or LVO or CritCon, go. Because as much as we will gripe about certain things, I would have been super sad had I missed the weekend. And you can hear from Tyler that he was, even with all our bitching about it, was bummed that he missed the weekend. We were bummed we missed you too, dude.
So, yeah. You know, like the only upside is I didn't end up spending a bunch of money to go up there. You know, like that's
not yet. That's when you found out we stole your card last time we saw you, and I used
we should talk about that, by the way.
I mean, got some bad news.
I think that was another Tyler Johnson. I have, like, 2 years after I was born, I had the #1 most common name in the United States for male boys. So like, you know, like you're gonna find a lot of us. I think you stole another Tyler.
Okay, cool.
It was probably the one I stole. Credit card.
So who is the real Tyler Johnson?
That's a good question.
But back to what, like I was saying, Connor, you mentioned the terrain, about 11th edition. We did get to see the new terrain, actually. So they actually had the pre-printed or pre-painted terrain there, and it was pretty good, actually.
Nice.
I'm not mad at it. It was Max, actually. I think we talked about this. Max actually was one of the people that helped put the terrain together.
And if not, we'll cut this.
Tables ready. We'll find out too late, like we always do.
Yeah.
But the pre-painted terrain looks really good. I'll pop in some pictures on the video here from some shots that I took.
We can definitely include that because, you know, everyone saw it on the streams and stuff.
But like, I was really impressed by the detail. I thought it was going to be kind of like, you know, you've seen terrain, and we've all painted terrain that it's kind of like you kind of block in some stuff and you don't really go much farther, and you maybe throw a dry brush on it or something, pick out a detail. It was really good. There's like OSL, there's just like every detail is picked out in it, what you would want to do if you just built terrain and could paint your own set to like the level you wanted to. I feel like it's almost there. My only beef with it is that it's the sparkle vampire terrain. It's the fucking Twilight terrain.
On the photos, you can kind of tell, but yeah, in person, I like picked up a piece and looked. It's very sparkly, probably, you know, from the process of painting it. But like, I think, this is great for a podcast. But you know, you take some matte varnish the first time me and Chuck will ever use it, and just put it over, and I'll probably get rid of the Edward look of it.
Yeah, I wanted to steal one of the things of it and just take it outside and see if we can.
I did steal something.
Did you?
Not actually steal anything valuable. I think they were meant to be taken. Tyler wanted a little red thing, the little red goblin thingies. I grabbed one because I saw a bunch.
What are they?
So one of the people in another Discord, the $1 Billion Clown Farm, Tyler Russo's Discord, was at Tacoma, and they were playing I think narrative, also, and they had printed out like a whole bunch of the little squig kind of things and painted them up and
Oh,
hid them throughout the terrain for people to take. So,
awesome.
yeah,
It's like a big old little.
little
I'll get
squig.
an actual photo to upload, but it's just like a little. Looks like a fat Yoshi,
Kinda, yeah.
or like an legally distinct enough Yoshi, essentially. Like I can imagine a little Mario riding this big old red squig
Yo-
thing.
Yoshi
Legally
squig.
distinct fat Yoshi.
That's a good band name right there.
Yeah.
I'm adding that to the list. Do you guys have a list on your phone for like good names for stuff?
No.
No.
I've had a band name list for a long time.
What's your best band name you got in there?
Let me open the list. I think there's one about like a summer beach bod or something that I always laugh at.
Summer
whenever
Beach Bod's a good name, especially like grindcore band, Summer Beach Bod. That's a hit right there. I think
Yeah, but if you
Cat Arms.
Cat Arms,
Mm-hmm.
it's a weird one.
Yeah, it'd be a progressive metal band.
And we'll riff while Connor just looks through his
Summer
phone.
Dog Beach Bod is what I think my favorite is, and then recently I came up with Mike Pencil Skirt.
Okay.
Yeah,
right.
I like that, but it's like 30 names deep. So if you ever ask or see me, just come.
It's okay, Connor. We can cut this out. We can cut this part out. It's fine.
Yeah, I think that you should name like any of the tanks that you paint up. Give them the
The shitty like indie band names. I found out a band I used to kind of listen to a long time ago had to change their name recently, and they used to be called Andrew Jackson Jihad. I'm like, that's a fun name, but now I guess they're like, oh, that's kind of a bad name, so they changed it to AJJ, and I was like, that's not as fun.
That's not.
That's like the Dixie. That's like the Dixie Chicks. Just change the name of the Chicks. You're the Dixie Chicks.
Yeah, it's like I get you don't want to necessarily have that name, but that's such a fun name, and like Andrew Jackson's like 200 years dead at this point. Who's gonna get mad about that?
I mean, recently people did actually.
Well,
last like 10 years, right?
I don't know. He wasn't a great guy. He did a lot of evil things.
What?
Yeah.
A politician doing evil things?
Well, especially an old American one.
Yeah. Old white guy in the 1700s.
Yeah.
So,
and before we move on, we can't move on without mentioning the band ISIS, who was forced to break up because of ISIS.
Yeah. Same thing happened in Archer.
Yeah. But
spoiler.
ISIS is worth listening to. So they're a great band if you like atmospheric doom metal, sludge metal.
That's right at the top of my playlists.
Absolutely. I mean, I've seen what you listen to. Jeff,
yeah, it's basically what it is. Mm-hmm. So yeah, pre-painted terrain is fantastic. I'm excited. I've got a box on order because I'm a crazy person and order all of it. I'm hoping we get it'll pretty easily make it into Kill Team boards, especially for us. So probably see about throwing out some boards for CritCon for it. So
yeah, absolutely.
Kill Scream 5.
Gotta get a like an auto leveling like map primer too. Like make sure it gets nice and even.
Yeah,
probably the way to go.
But yeah, so Thursday, that was Thursday basically. Okay. Connor was at home slaving away on his miniatures.
And then Connor didn't show up Friday until later, from what I hear.
Right? No, I wasn't there Friday at all.
At all.
No.
Okay, but Chuck, you started early in the morning, round 1 at 9 a.m., right?
I did round 1. So for those who don't know, I brought my Death Company Blood Angels Murder Wing.
They look sick.
They do look very nice.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially all together, like the photos that you posted, really good.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm really happy with them actually. I was even talking to Sean about this. Like they look better under the convention lights than they do under my hot lights here when I'm painting. So, and one thing he was saying is he actually, like, when he paints and does classes for people, he takes them around at different colored lights so you can kind of see what they look under different lights. So I think that's something I've got some lights that'll actually change color pretty easily. So I think I'm before I throw the model against the wall, I'm going to start looking at it under other lights. But I was happy with them. I got a lot of great feedback about them. I still want to push them a little bit farther. I did make the showcase actually too. So I made they come around and pick out some models that they like, and you get to go put them up on the table and get judged and for the hobby score. So, but yeah, so my first day, and I'll just go through my games real quick. Nobody wants to hear me talk about games I don't remember that much, but first game was into a gentleman named Mason Lundy against his Angels of Death. So we had, I can't remember what the mission was.
You have the cards that tell you.
Loot. We played Loot first mission. It's good. Loot's like a nice icebreaker mission.
Absolutely.
So round one into Murder Wing against Mason's Angels of Death, I had a pretty handy 15-6 loss. Can't off the top of my head think of any top plays. The wild thing to me is people that like Bean or Tanner or like Sean can just like recite everything that fucking happened in their entire game, and I'm like, I don't know, I shot stuff.
Yeah. I maybe like remember like a play or the vibe of the game, you know. That's it for me.
Yeah, I even took pictures, and I'm like going through my pictures now, and I still can't like remember what happened in this game. So Mason had some Black Templar AOD, brought mostly chain swords, and I was able to kind of bop around the point, and did melt to work, and so I ended up with a win, 15-6 for round one. So moving on, starting strong.
That's real good.
Yeah.
Next round.
Yeah.
What'd you have for lunch day one?
You know what?
Because that's a big point of discussion.
Jimmy John's every day.
Jimmy John's every day. What'd you get?
Freakishly fast. I got the veggie. On day 2 and 3, I realized that I could get the veggie toasted. Actually, on day 3, I realized I could get it toasted. But I went with the veggie. Day 1, I got an iced tea. I got a bag of chips. It's a block away from the convention center. It's stupid fast, and like, it's $16, but still.
Every time I've tried to get that Jimmy John's, it's closed.
No, they were open, and I think actually mostly doing business for people from like KTC and like Portland, Vancouver people, actually, because I think we all went to lunch there every day. We weren't trying to fuck around with finding a place and making sure we get an order in, because if you guys remember last year, the panic of us trying to get back to the convention center, when I chose a bad breakfast place, the breakfast place I had the Tim's Kitchen. It was really good.
Yeah,
I just didn't time it correctly, because I think the first day that I had it was like my game finished in like an hour, so I had like 2 hours for lunch, and it was no big deal. But the next day I was stressed, and everybody was kind of like looking at the clock, and we had a speed walk back.
So that's part of the convention experience. Like, are you really playing a tabletop game at a convention if you don't experience that at least once?
Yeah, so that's kind of fair.
Mm-hmm. It shouldn't happen every time, but like at least once in your career.
Yeah, so I'll almost forgo eating for lunch and just like snack on something rather than that. So
just like go mid round over to the thing and be like, I'm gonna go get some chicken strips and be right back.
Yeah,
I mean, you can even order to the table with the QR code.
You can actually. Ooh. I didn't see much of that action this year, so I didn't see many people taking advantage of that. So, but my round 2 was into Zeke the Freak Kelly, one of the Kelly clan Kel team boys. Zeke played Hearthkin Salvagers, and we played on we're playing on an open board, hamburger deployment. And the mission was slipping my mind. It was, I'll get to it eventually. I'm doing the Connor thing. I'm just like searching for stuff. There it is. Hold on. Yeah. Mission was energy cells. So we played energy cells, and I'm like, all right, it's time to take down one of the Kellys. Jeshua kicks my ass every time I play them. Zeke's playing Hearthkin. Like, I'm fine. This is great. Mid game, it's like, okay, you have 3 grudge tokens. Therefore, I'm going to roll. Okay, I have 3 hits. Those are now 3 crits. And your Marine is going to go to the side of the board. So Zeke kicked my ass, as is foretold by the Kellys always going to do. So I lost 19-8. At this point, I'm down I'm 1-1, but I had some fun plays. I was able to use a lot of the tech that Brandon told me to. Like, I charged one of his guys, he fell back, I charged into another guy, was able to jump up and do the like spin to win with the blade guy. So I was making some plays. It was just he was making way more plays, and I didn't know how to counter it. So
yeah,
but great. And I will say he's a fantastic opponent, like really good to play against. Like, sometimes people suck, especially when they're kicking your ass, but he was a very, very good opponent. So Jimmy raises good ones.
Yeah, he does. All right, so on to round 3. Little 15-minute break, right?
Yeah. 30. Actually, they do 30s for those.
30s, okay.
So yeah. 30-minute break and then back into Angels of Death again. So I played Jason Gracias. I think that's maybe I'm probably butchering your name, Jason. I apologize. So we played on Into the Dark, and we played. The mission was, I just had the missions up, and the mission was download. So the next mission is data for when I forget about it. So download. Played on Into the Dark. Pretty good win. It was just kind of tough for him. I got some good plays, and he was a little, I think he was a little newer to, not Into the Dark, Tomb World. I think he was a little newer to Tomb World, because at the start of the game, we were talking about like teleporters, and he was saying like, I don't even know why these are here. I'm like, well, you can teleport. He's like, you can do what? He's like, so I don't think he had really a lot of experience with Tomb World, so I was able to take advantage of that. But nice guy, and fun game. I think his partner was hanging out too, checking out the game, so had an audience for it. But ended up winning that game 14-9, so 2-1 at this point. So
hell yeah. So that's end of day 1 right there.
No, 4 rounds, dude. Come on,
4 rounds day 1.
You got to get 11 rounds in somehow, buddy.
I thought you're right. Sorry, can't do that.
So
math. Sorry,
but and final game of day 1, data. I drew into this player, somebody named Jimmy Kelly.
Never heard of the guy.
Never heard of the guy. Jimmy Kelly playing Goremongers on Tomb World, and I only lost by 7. So and had a great time playing with Jimmy. Known Jimmy for a few years now from the tournament scene. He's been on the podcast before a couple times, and just great to get a game in with him. And I took the exact wrong. The highlight of this game for me was after we got done. I was talking to Jimmy about it, and we were talking about the loadout that I took, and I took the absolute wrong loadout. So I took the Melta, which is dumb because Goremongers just can only take 8 damage. I took power weapons. Like I should have dropped like all my plasmas, all my power weapons and stuff. Taken bolters or bolt pistols, taken power fists, so I can push more damage through than kind of the weapons I had. I just took the totally wrong loadout. So I'd love to play that matchup again and see, because I think you gotta double shoot them with the bolt pistols and make them try and save stuff. So, but so 2-2 on day 1. So you know what? For at this point with 4 games in, I've got 7 whole games with Murder Wing, so I'm not too mad about it. So
nice,
doing solid.
Yeah. But and then that evening, William Klaus set up a dinner soiree at the Thai restaurant down the street. So it was me and Sean, Ryle, Frankie, Ben, Tanner, Ivan, Matt, William, Bram. We had Zach. We had a ton of people there hanging out, having Thai food. I had to get up and leave when they kept talking about like the how we need to go back to the what was it, Connor? I texted you about it. The gold standard. I was like, that's why. Yeah.
And
also,
you were in the bank, so like you already know all this stuff, anyways.
Yeah. If you ever want to see CB get really turnt, like ask him about accurate and how it works, and watch this man go off for like 20 minutes about how accurate should actually work. So, but it was a fun dinner. The food was pretty good, and then I called it an evening. Went back and started watching
Night of the Seven Kingdoms. I'm slowly getting trucked to watch television and movies. I'm so glad.
Yeah, I'm super excited to watch. Got a huge dick.
Opening of episode 2 is a very funny opening.
I'm talking like just
big old hogs. Watch Night of the Seven Kingdom for context. How far are you into the show now, Chuck?
I finished it actually.
Oh, did you like it?
Yeah, it was good. I finished it Saturday night. Yeah.
I wish you told me that. We could have talked, or if you finished it Saturday night, I could have bothered you all of Sunday about it.
Yeah. No, finished Saturday night. Yeah, it was a really good show. It was weird because it's you told me this when you first watched it. It's like 30-minute episodes is all. 7 like 30-minute episodes.
Yeah, I think the entire, like, because it's a 6-episode thing, because they're all based on short stories. It's like 3 hours and 14 minutes total runtime. So anytime I showed it to someone, I'm like, we're just gonna watch a movie and a half. So we'll take a break halfway through and get some food, but like we're sitting our ass down and watching some good old TV. And it is some good old TV.
So that was my day one.
What is it? I have no.
So it's set in the Game of Thrones universe, but like 300 years before Game of Thrones goes on, and it's just about a guy who hedge knight, which is essentially just like a wandering knight, bullshitting his way into a tournament he has no right to being at, and accidentally get involved in the equivalent of the biggest political scandal within that is like of Westeros within like hundreds of years, and it's wonderful.
Okay.
Yeah. It's good. I know. I mean, I knew as soon as you said it was in Game of Thrones, Tyler was going to roll his eyes and just stop listening.
I just don't know anything about.
That's the nice thing is you don't need to know like anything about it. The only thing that you need to know is this is a fantasy world where the royal family has dragons, and that's or had dragons at one point, and that's about the only real context from the Game of Thrones universe you need.
Just put that anywhere.
Okay. Sorry. Yeah, my chair broke. And so now this keeps falling off. I've tried gluing it like 12 times. I just got to buy a new chair.
But yeah, so day one, good games, fun games, like great to see people and connect with people. I used my $10 voucher that I got to get some Blood Bowl guys. So
nice.
I got the the troll for the Orcs team that I bought that I'm piecing out from the Barnes & Noble kit, which I think altogether is going to cost me more than just actually buying the team. So
nice.
Yeah.
But don't you get like two teams or like two half teams from Barnes & Noble?
Two half teams, but then I got the half teams and Greg is like, well, yeah, and then you want to get a troll and you want to get some goblins. I'm like, okay, we'll grab some goblins. How do I get goblins? You got to buy the whole goblin box. So
no, bummer.
Yeah.
But like now you have options because like you have different players you can run for different games, it's about flex, not every player is right for every moment.
And honestly, I've never complained about having to buy more miniatures. So
for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. So day 2, Connor shows up bright and early on time, or did he walk in?
Nope, we were on time. Zarin was driving Saturday.
Zarin drove.
Okay. I drove Sunday. We were on time Sunday as well.
I'll be right back while you talk about.
Yeah. So you had your first bit of the narrative, right?
Yeah, it was super fun. Like I said, like the staff was all great. Everyone was all dressed up in costumes. We had someone dressed up as like a proper, guardsman. Someone in like a cool chaos outfit. Another person that looked like the mystic from Kill Team. Was straight up that. So that was really fun. The campaign itself was like you're fighting either as a liberator, which is like Imperium aligned, or oppressor, which is like chaos aligned, or I guess kind of orc aligned, fighting for Armageddon, of course, because that's the new centerfold. And it was a good match. My first opponent was really cool. He had a whole like Grot Revolution army, beautifully painted and kit bashed, so that was really fun to see. And it was a fun time. It just like I said, a little disappointed by the terrain setup. It felt like not as grand as what we have seen the last couple of years. Which
okay.
Well, it's not the grand tournament; it's the narrative, dude.
I mean, you're right.
Not so. How many games a day did you play for the narrative?
It was 3 on Saturday and 2 on Sunday.
Okay. What was your first round? Who'd you pair into? You said the Red Gobos?
Yeah, Red Gobos.
Okay, then so how'd that go? Did you win?
Won that one, thankfully. Guard are pretty good at shooting up Gobos. It was a pretty fun thing where we fought over my home objective, like back and forth 3 turns in a row, where he'd have a Gobbo swarm come in and kill my poor 10 guardsmen, and then I'd like send a tank and 10 more guardsmen to go retake it. Then another goblin swarm would come in through the windows and stuff, and that repeated like 3 times.
That's pretty cool.
And this is the guy with the super cool Gaskell, right?
Mm-hmm. I believe my opponent's name was, I wrote it down, I think it was James. So James had an absolutely gorgeous like converted army. Like Gaskell was like a marionette of like goblins sitting on, or little Gobbos on his back, controlling Gobbos in the suit type of deal. Okay. There's that weird like Daka Waka or something, some sort of like actual orc that can with wild crazy hair that's like able to lead Gretchen. And his kit bash for that was literally like 2 Gretchen stacked on top of each other in a trench coat with like long little wiry fake beards. So like he had an amazing army.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Cool. And then your second round, what'd you play?
Played into some Chaos Demons, or rather Khorne World Eaters, but like with a bunch of the Blood Crushers. And that's not good for guardsmen. This is kind of where I was like, the missions where we were using the new I can't remember what it's called, like Decimation Pack or something. It starts with a D, but like the narrative card pack that comes with Armageddon. And so our missions were predetermined before we got to any of our tables, which was kind of weird because depending on your table and the mission you got could be really unfortunate. Like in this case, it was just more of an unfortunate army matchup, but I had to go and steal objectives that were already controlled by world leaders, which as guard already seems very hard to do, especially because I didn't really have any melee specialists. So that was a very rough mission. I got my ass handed to me.
No, that sounds rough.
Yeah,
And that is an incredible gas right there.
yeah,
That conversion. Thanks for posting that, Chuck.
Yeah, I'll put it in the video too.
Yeah,
So
very cool. Yeah, blood crushers and stuff like that, that are fast and really melee heavy are always going to be difficult for guard to
I
deal
was
with.
able to use my two tanks or two little hippogriffs and my Rogel door to like blow them up, but they hurt me just as hard back. So it was a rough one.
For sure. And then round 3 for you, final round of the day.
Funnily enough, against an AdMech player, which was really fun. The mission similarly was a kind of strange one where we needed to be having, in order to score the primary, we needed a unit wholly within 6 of a board edge, but more than 9 inches from the corner, and we needed to do that on 3 of the board edges.
Whoa.
Which could have been cool, but again, like the tables were kind of pre-set up, so like none of the tables necessarily had a lot of terrain for you to stand and safe that, especially because we're only playing 1,000 points. Depending on your list, you just might not have units to do that. Like I thankfully had a bunch of guardsmen I could throw to their death, but if you're playing a more elite army, that's just not something you can necessarily score.
Yeah, that seems pretty difficult, especially like with the terrain layouts, how you've shown them to me, or like what I've seen.
Yeah.
Like the new templates and everything, like that doesn't seem very, I don't know, intuitive, I guess, at that size. 1,000 points is pretty limiting in what you can do on a lot of things. Like you just can't take that much.
Yeah. And all my opponents were very friendly people, which was nice. So it was a good time. It was all right overall. I was just I'm sad none of my opponents were necessarily people in like full. There was a cosplay outfits with like little plaques to go with their armies and stuff. Those all look great. I got to talk to some of those guys, and they're all wonderful. There was a person there. She had like a knight rig suit for her armor, playing I think normal knights, but I can't remember if they're cast, like beautifully painted and converted. So that was really cool to check out.
Okay, very cool. And then so that's end of your day 1, and then Chuck, or day 2 for you.
Yeah, day 2 for me because
we're
playing
5,
11 fucking rounds. Round 5, I played into Elijah actually. So Elijah is one of he's an honorary Kelly. I think Elijah goes around with the Kellys to a lot of tournaments. Another great Kelly opponent. Basically, we played Reboot, and they brought Higher Tech Circle. I only have like 1 or 2 games against Higher Tech Circle, and I have learned to absolutely hate the fucking Death Mark and how they can just throw that piece around the board. So we were playing on another hamburger deployment. I threatened the Death Mark. Basically, the Death Mark was up on the 2nd story or 3rd story vantage, actually getting ready to nuke my guys, and I had basically a guy that could charge him up there and was going to kill him. So he does his teleport thing, grabs him, throws him behind the stronghold. Like, all right, cool. Death Mark's not going to do anything. I stage guys, move him up a little bit. Then instantly, the Death Mark, like the next turn, is in my back line, like standing between 2 Space Marines. And the Death Mark, if you don't know, hits really hard. He's got like, I don't know, some crazy ass sniper rifle, and if he hits you and you don't die, he gets full seek on you for the rest of the game. So, but the one thing that I was like, okay, this is a really cool play. He dropped him between my, I think it was my Shrieker and my champion actually. But he dropped them right next to my warp token and had them on guard. Well, I brought my warp talon in engagement range, which dropping the warp talon in is not an action. It doesn't trigger the guard. So guard's broken, and you're standing there with a 5 attacks on 3s, 4/5, lethal 5 ceaseless rending, lightning claw, warp talon, who's pissed at you now. Shredded him, killed him. I'm like, oh yeah, okay, we're moving now. he basically then res the death mark and threw him right back in the same spot and then nuked my champion. So, yeah. So, but I did end up winning that game. Actually, Dakota came by and I was like, I gotta play another Kelly, and he's like, hey, maybe this is gonna be the time you actually get that win. I'm like, it's not gonna be today, Dakota. And it was actually. I got the win.
Hey.
I finally. Whoops, I lost my score somewhere here. I won. I lost my screen. Where'd it go? I won, scored points. I won. Let's see. Round 5. I had it all set up and stuff, and then I dipped around too much.
And then you end up closing tabs, stuff like that.
Yeah. And porn's still open. This is gone. I won 14-11, so pretty close game still. But I was able to use some really cool murder wing tricks. Like my warp talon, who was at low health because he had gotten shot, jumped up on an advantage. Elijah tried to fight me. I was able to fall back out of range and not be able to get shot. I was able to then activate the warp talon and throw a crack grenade into his leader and then charge and kill his leader. And like, this is still like 4 health warp talon. Leader then comes back, but I did some cool plays, and I ended up eking out the win there. So,
oh yeah.
Into round 6, so at this point I'm 3-2. I ended up playing David Hogg, who's one of the Bats guys. David Hong, excuse me, from the Bay Area, one of the Bats guys, and in Raveners on Tomb World, and it was like. I think I've got one.
You have, right? Like that's the best matchup for you.
I mean, I don't know. It was because the mission we played Stake Claim, which I'm just not really great at either. Anyways, so we played Stake Claim, and I lost 14-7, so 3-3 at this point. And I was talking to David afterwards. He was another great opponent, and we talked through the game. I'm like, what could I do? He's like, you really only did like 2 things wrong, but one of those things was I had thrown a crack grenade at one of his guys and got his guy down to like 12. I think I got 2 hits, got him down to 12. Next turn, this is my Chaos Lord, threw another crack grenade and totally whiffed it. Like, didn't get any damage. I think I got like 1 hit, and they were standing on the tunnel and saved it. I think I maybe even didn't get any hits. Didn't have any rerolls at that point because I hadn't moved. And I'm like, fuck it, I can do this. So I charged in with my Lord. And my full health Lord, I think maybe full health Lord, got just shredded by. I whiffed on my melee attacks and just got shredded. So that was kind of the turning point that kind of changed the game. But great opponent still. And I put down a razor wire that I think this is why I don't use physical equipment. I put down a razor wire that even with my fly ability did more harm to me than them probably. So, but so that was round 6. Again, 3-3 at this point. Round 7, I go into CB Bone. So CB and I at this point have played 2 times ever. This is our second time. The first time we played on Tomb World. I was Murderwing, he was Vespids. This time was Tomb World, Murderwing, and Vespids. So 2 of the flying teams in the game, and we're playing in like tight little hallways. The first time CB and I played, he absolutely demolished me. To be fair, I think I was hungover, and I was just kind of out of it, and like, and it was my second game with Murderwing ever or something. And I forgot their like Oscillii or whatever it is, where I'm like standing behind cover, and he can just fly up in the air and do a Seek Light shot on me.
It gets me every time, man.
Absolutely nuked me. Well, this time, CB fucked me up again. Did the same shit to me. I didn't learn. So I lost 17-8. So, but
he's really good.
The hugs were on point. So CB is fantastic with the best.
Absolutely, really, really good. He just like he has a lot of technical skill, and like he's always bringing it out on like those kinds of teams.
Yeah, he was a big higher tech player before that. When he kind of started, and I was like, oh man, like, and he's relatively new. He's like a year and a half into the game, maybe. And when he first started, he was playing higher tech. I was like, that's a rough one, and he got really good with higher tech. Really good, ask him about accurate, and then you can get him to talk for 20 minutes and watch him pull his hair out.
Did you see the new CB rage bait topic?
No, which one is that?
No, you go look in the rules discussion area for?
I stay out of that area.
Yeah.
I've got nothing to
Oh.
It
to
hurts
actually
my
add to
head.
that. So,
Yeah, but you
yeah.
gotta go peek it. Like there's.
All right. I'll make a note and take a look at. So
Yeah.
So that was round 6. Round 7 into CB. So 3 and 4 at this point. Round 8, I go into Jacob Harden on Angels of Death.
Okay.
13-9 win. I'm trying to remember what board we were playing on. I got a good mix though. I feel like a lot of times you get. No, it was because it was all. It was Volcus or Tomb World, but I can't remember for this one. But I feel like we got a good mix of stuff that, because I feel like I think last time I was at Tacoma, I played on Into the Dark the entire fucking time. Mm-hmm. And that mission, this is mission 8, so it was transmission, so good, basic, easy mission to end the day on too. Jacob, great opponent, but I ended up taking the win on that one too.
Hell yeah!
So after that, we went whole slew of people. Actually, we went down to Seven Seas Brewing. Tyler, I think you went there last year, and when you went to the wrong spot,
the wrong Seven Seas, because there's 2 of them.
Yeah, it's like a block away. But yeah, that was like we had Zarin, we had Max, we had Sean, we had the Smalls, we had Tanner, we had I don't know who that guy is. We had Olivia, we had David Hong came out, and Connor's. I think Jeremy Spake was there with Aleja. Jeremy's buddy who came up, who's a Dungeon Crawler Carl fan too, by the way.
Basically everyone is. I think there's more Dungeon Crawler Carl fans than there aren't. Like,
if you're into this hobby, it seems that way.
Yeah. Connor did bring this to me though. He brought me the free comic book day Dungeon Crawler Carl comic. So even though he doesn't like it, he still supports my habit. So, but had a great time. Had a bunch of beers. Nice thing was it was about literally a half block away from where I was staying. So, Adrian Bonavento came over there too. Connor was kind of oogling him a little bit. I think he kind of creeping him out, dude.
My bad if I did. Sorry, Adrian. I was complimenting his outfits. Every time I see Adrian, he's just super well dressed. He's just got that X factor.
He's got a lot of swagger to him, you know. Like, and then you talk to him, and he only gets cooler. You're like, what do you do? And he's like, oh, I just like do stuff with like F1. Like, and you're like, what? And he's like, oh, just like simple videography stuff. And you're like, can I see some of your work? And he's like, oh, this is a movie I made. And and it's just sick. He's just like so cool. And he's so nonchalant about it too, which is one of the things that makes him so cool.
Yeah. Connor, how did you feel being in the same room with Jeremy Spake and Adrian Bonavento?
Probably 2 of the most handsome men.
Envious. Just I'm like, why can't I be them? It's like what I imagine it's got to feel like when you're like around like a movie star type of deal, Mm-hmm. Speaking of Jeremy Spake, won silver for his I can't remember what he submitted on day 1, or rather Saturday for the painting. But then
it was one of his recas.
That's right. Yeah. And then
Knob?
Yeah. Right.
And then on day 2 he submitted the Kilocan and he got a gold.
Yep. Well deserved.
Yeah, very beautiful model, absolutely gorgeous. It was very nice to see in person because he's been uploading the hobby chat with photos of it every once in a while. So it's always fun to see like people, putting stuff that and then getting to see it in person. Like another person I want to mention, Ash. Their gorgeous like conversion of the Tempestus Scions or
Aquilons.
Yeah, but as like teamed up with the Kroot, so beautiful, absolutely gorgeous model.
Yeah, Ash is relatively new to our Discord, but got to meet them in person, and they were awesome. Their board is fantastic. I'm putting pictures of the board in there. Tyler, I don't know if you had a chance to see it. I'll drop in the chat here, but they did custom sculpted jump packs, and while they were making the jump packs, I think they had extra, so they made them into pins that Ash gave out to people. And I every once in a while I'd see somebody wearing them, and I never got a chance to ask Ash if I could actually get my own. But they reached out today, and they're gonna actually like send me one. So, cool. They're super cool. I got pictures of their board around here somewhere. Oh yeah, it's this. It's basically like, what is it? A devilfish, Connor? Is that what they're dropping out of?
I think so. I think that is a devilfish within a crashed Black Star, whatever the like Death Watch flying like plane is, that they then had to create an interior for because it doesn't actually really have one. So they had to like grab a bunch of spare model kits, including like actual like model Fords and stuff to build the interior of the plane. It was a gorgeous board.
Yeah, we have a really. They posted a really great build log on it and everything. Like it's fantastic. So take a look at that on our Discord if you're there.
Yeah, even cooler in person. And they painted it up in like 2-3 days too, which is wild.
Yeah, it was so fast. The whole thing. They're like starting work on this, and then they're like, "Oh, done," and I was like, "Oh shit."
Yeah, no, I had to really buckle down and get my murder wing to where they were, and I realized that if I sit down and actually paint a bunch, I get a bunch of stuff done.
It's crazy how that works, you know. Like,
I don't know.
Maybe I should do this more often instead of panicking, but that's not gonna happen.
Yeah, but yeah, that was end of Saturday, and so I went back and finished off Night of Seven Kingdoms and packed up and went to sleep for the evening.
Yeah. You had a much better evening than I did upon reaching your night. I got home, exhausted and tired, and didn't realize one of the latches on my cases wasn't fully latched. And as I was putting it down, a good number of my guardsmen went tumbling out of my case.
Awful.
And so that was kind of just a capstone to a pretty rough day. So that definitely sucked. Thankfully, everything is mostly fixed. A handful of the Casterkin's little antenna are bent, but I was able to fix that. And at worst, I can get another helmet or two. But that
it's battle damage.
Yeah, that kind of sucked. To just be like, okay, it was great seeing all my friends. I had a wonderful time at dinner, but after a long day of kind of like mid-ish, like I was experiencing so much FOMO for the kill team thing that really put a damper on the day.
So we both learned our lessons. Don't do other stuff and play kill team. I mean, maybe the hobby stuff. Everyone I've talked to that's done the hobby stuff has had a blast with it. So but moving on, we're going on to day 3 for Chuck here. You've got your 9th round coming up.
Yeah.
They've split it into pods, right?
We're into pods. Yeah, let's do Connor's day 3 first because it's a much shorter story.
Okay.
Yeah. With the terribleness of that capstone to Saturday's evening and then just not sleeping too hot either, I was just like, I'm good. I didn't have too much fun with the narrative, which was like even more of a letdown of like I'd been looking forward to too much and not having fun, like was a real bummer. So I dropped from that and just decided I was just gonna hang out with my friends all day and bother Chuck and be like, you shouldn't have done that. You should have rolled better when he made bad dice rolls.
Yeah.
So I entered the painting competition, threw in my little Nemesis Claw, did some finishing touches, brought some paint, painted a little bit in between rounds, and then watched World Cup. So it was a good Sunday for me, just hanging out with friends and checking out armies and walking through the 40K stuff in the kill team lobbies.
It's crazy to me that Connor's watched more of the World Cup final than I have so far, because I watched
it was fucking boring. It sucked. I mean, Spain put on a great defense, but like defense is so boring in sports. I want to see a high swing, like the third place game where everyone's just scoring every other second. That's so much more fun.
It's because they didn't give a shit.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously, but fuck Argentina. Or at least like the team's players behavior.
Whoa.
Hey, all right, Chuck.
Whoa. Connor hates Argentina.
Yeah, I hate I hate the behavior of their players, Chuck. How about that?
They were absolute dickheads. So, I have to one amazing thing that happened on Thursday night while I was at the TO social, I have to highlight this, is that the Timbers beat the Sounders in Seattle 5-1. So so you want some scoring, you want some goals, go watch the Sounders get their ass kicked in their own stands. So
hell yeah.
Nice.
I was super excited about that. So my round 9. Round 9, Murder Wing into Alan sorry. Apologize if I'm butchering your name. Into with Celestian Insidiance. I ended up winning this game 19-7. We were playing on Into the I keep saying Into the Dark. We're playing on Close Quarters on Tomb World. If I say Into the Dark, I mean Tomb World. We were playing on Tomb World. I ended up having there's a couple things where I'll put a picture up here. There was a play where Alan had I was on a teleporter with my Depredator, and Alan had a Celestian on there and wanted to kill my champion, so teleported my Depredator into his back line, and I was able to do a charge and jump in behind 3 of his guys because I had not activated, and do the like D3 plus D3 or 2D3 spin to win. And so that put quite a bit of damage. We had kind of a contentious moment, and I've talked to Connor about this already, but I'll ask you, Tyler, and you let me know what we're doing. So we're in bracket 3 basically. We're in the third tier. We're just playing for fun and pride, but it is a tournament. And so start of turn maybe 3, I have my Warp Talon, who's standing on a point, and Alan has behind a door, he has a Celestian, just a normal sister with like a 4/4 mace, and then he has this sword lady. Well, Alan gets initiative. Alan goes, charges into my Warp Talon, who's got 5 wounds. Okay, I've got a little red dice sitting next to him with little, you've seen the like D12s that I use, that says 5 wounds. Charges in, rolls. I roll. I get like 2 crits and 3 hits. He gets a single hit that his inspiring severe makes it into a crit. He says, "Okay, I hit you for 1." I'm like, "Oh, 1?" I'm like, he's like, "Yeah, I kill you." I'm like, "Wait, what? What's your damage?" He's like, "It's 4/4." I'm like, "Okay. Well, I'm at 5. I will go down to 1 and I'll kill you." He had mistaken and thought that I was at 1 wound, which is why he charged in with that operative rather than his sword person. And at this point, like, he's charged in, we've fought, we've rolled dice, and he wanted to roll it back to maybe charge with the other person. And I at this point, I didn't think, like, this is the difference between
dice have been rolled. That's kind of where I draw the line on it.
Yeah, and Travis came over. Actually, CB kind of saw that we were having a discussion about it, and had Travis come over and say, and Travis said kind of the same thing, that dice had been rolled. And he said it was kind of up to us, but dice had been rolled. And I didn't roll it back. And so I feel like it was kind of unfortunately it was a feels bad for the game. And
it happens sometimes.
Yeah.
But you learn from those moments, right? Like,
yeah.
It just causes you to double check what you're doing and stuff. Like, we've all made those mistakes. They suck. They feel super shitty. I remember one time at LVO, I forgot to activate a whole operative with legionaries. And it would have changed the outcome of the game. And so, but like, what can you do? We've moved on from that point, and that's all you can do. Once you've passed that point, once you've rolled those dice and you've committed to that action, like, you're not just on the move, right? You've decided to move that operative, to charge them up, and then to fight and to roll dice and like, okay, I'm going to hit you on here. Because you didn't double check how many wounds that operative has. You didn't ask or anything like that. If you would have asked you and you would be like, "Oh, 1 wound," and then you did that, that would have been cheating, right? But like, that's not what happened. So I think you're in the right here.
So it was a feels bad, but it was also like ended up being like a 3-point swing too, because that guy had a retrieval token. I was able to retrieve, or he was on the point. I was able to retrieve and get out of the way. So bless you, did make a difference. You can mute your mic too.
Yeah,
right,
I could have. I was all tapped in, but I wasn't. I suck.
I'm just gonna, like, if I start to see you sneeze, I'm just gonna mute your mic.
That's totally fair, and just don't tell me if I'm unmuted.
I'll help you out.
And just act like that you can hear me.
Yeah. So ended up winning that game pretty solidly, 19-7. I don't think that play changes much. And that one thing they did point out is that during a previous interaction, we had reordered some dice. So like, I had already committed to a move. We'd done the thing. I rolled my stuff and wanted to like move around some dice and stuff. But I think that was a very different situation than like rolling back an entire action. But
I think that like trying to, because like part of the game is like understanding the consequences of the dice, right? So like, as you're talking out the fight, you're like, what are your abilities? What's going to happen here if I do this? So I think that that's like a little bit different. Like, once you've rolled the dice and trying to figure out the committal order for the fight action is very different, right? Like, unless you're trying to like cheese someone out of like, you're like, I'm going to get you by not telling you how the fight works for me.
Right.
Like, which I think that's kind of crummy more than talking it out and trying to make sure that, because like the person charging in is trying to do something, right? Like, let them do their thing.
Yeah. So hopefully by the end of the game, seemed cordial. Hopefully, no bad feelings going forward. So, but that was my round 10, 9. Into round 10, I played against Matt Klein, who's actually from the Bellingham area. He's up. Met Sean for the first time. He's actually been in his hood the whole time. And how have you not met Sean? I mean, come on.
For sure. That's crazy.
Yeah. That is pretty wild.
Probably stays out of the seedy parts of town. That's how he hasn't met Sean. So it was my murder wing against their Casterkin on Open. We had a hot dog deployment, and like I'm thinking, like, you know what? Like Casterkin are pretty squishy. Like they're kind of supposed to be like big bads against like elites, but I could take them down pretty quick. It was a tight game. I won 10-9, and it literally came down to the final plasma shot of the game. If he was able to kill, because we tied on kill, I think. If he was able to kill my Huntmaster on the last shot of the game, I lived on 1 wound. It would have swung the game, and I would have lost that game because I got too aggressive. And by the way, if you have hotshot las rifles, and they stand still, they can hit really hard. I had a couple of my guys that got like 2-shot basically, but like in one activation, I lost a full health shrieker. Did have a really cool play though, where he ran Envoy, which he had said he probably shouldn't have ran Envoy. It was kind of the first time doing it, and especially against Murder Wing, since I can just kind of boop around the board and kill your envoys, or tie them up and get next to him really quick. He had to run an Envoy where he thought I couldn't really get to them. I was able to like move dash, get to within 2, take a shot him with my it was the Curse Claws bolt pistol, got him down to 1 wound, and then on a counteract I was able to charge, and I had the clawed armor on, and so on the charge I did 1 damage, killed him. So it was pretty fun play. He was actually pretty amused by that I just like charge, okay, you're dead. So but great opponent, like I said, from the Bellingham area. So and he was actually out to dinner with us on Saturday night too.
Very cool.
So I was hooked up with
I always love when new people start getting hooked into the community, right? Like, yeah, it's always a good feeling. Tacoma is one of the big recruiting events for our cult.
Not a cult.
We're not a cult. There's another cult. We're not it. It's not us.
Yeah. So round 11, the final round. I'm gonna get out of here. And this is actually we're in cuts now. We're in pods essentially. So at this point I'm 2-0 in the pod, and if I win, I can like win my group and I can get a prize for Connor.
Yeah, I kept saying if you can't drop to watch World Cup, especially until you like lose, and you kept winning. So I was like, cool. And because I've been giving you such great mental like support and coaching, if you win, you go grab me something.
Yeah. So
who's your dreaded round 3?
My dreaded round 3 is against fucking CB Bone again.
God damn it. I'm not getting my prize.
It was on Tomb World again as well too, but then since there was a bunch of boards that were open, Dakota and Travis said that we could switch boards. So we switched to an open board. The mission was the last mission of the day was,
it's the one where you tap a point and then in the final turn of the thing you can get all the banked points. I don't remember what it's called.
Data again. Yeah.
Data.
Yeah, so it's data. And so this was actually a pretty tight game. I did lose by 3 points, but that was the best loss I've had against CB yet. And we had there was some really fun plays. I say CB was taking it easy on me, but it was awesome. It was CB's just so fucking good with those goddamn bugs. I'm 0-3 against him with the Murder Wing now. And this was such a homie buddy game where we see that we match up and like I get one of his, patented best hugs, stealing Tyler's energy. We pick our board, we sit down, we're like, let's go get a drink. Ran back to the bar, go get a drink, like come back up. We're playing. He's making some great moves. I'm making some great moves. He's making more great moves than me, which is why I lost. Halfway through the game, we sent Connor to go get his drinks. We even gave Connor IDs so they, believe that he was buying drinks for other people.
It was funny. I could have totally just used my own ID. You didn't need it at all. You can get 2 drinks per order. The lady looked at me like I was like speaking like a different language. I was like, here's the 2 IDs to prove that it's for 2 separate people. She's like, okay. Like, rolling her eyes. But when I came back, I think I decided on my Halloween costume too, or at least one of my options this year as well. We were looking at.
You gonna tell us?
Yeah, because remember we were talking about how I don't like who between your ID and CB's ID do I look more similar to, and the answer is like neither. I don't look anything like you guys. But CB said honestly his photo would make a great Halloween costume, and I was like, yeah, I should go as you. I'd look like like the Geico caveman, and we were laughing our asses off about that. And I'm like, that could be a fun. Like we should try and secretly organize for one of the nights of Kill Scream. Like a bunch of us are dressed up like CB.
Yeah. But it was a really fun game. I had a really good move where I was able to move, dash, and do a spin to win with my Depredator. Everybody says Depredator. Is it Depredator? I say Depredator. I don't give a shit.
The
Depredator.
Depredator. Oh my god.
Spin to win with the Depredator and hit 4 guys. So hitting them all for like 4 to 5 damage each. I was able to then like get a stun grenade off, and I threw a stun grenade and I rolled 4 straight 3-ups. I actually stunned 4 dudes in a row. So, CB got the win. His, part of it came down to one last play was, I was at 3 life with my Shrieker, and I was standing on one of his neutron fragments and had to activate him. And as soon as I activate him, he has to roll D3 damage, and luckily he rolled 2, so he was able to live on 1 life. So at this point, finished the tournament. I'm 6-5. I finished 3rd in my bracket. I think I finished 30th overall. So about what I figured I'd do. I'm obviously hoping for better. Because,
hey, I told you you'd have a positive record, and you did. So I'm proud of you.
You did. So which is going to suck if I had to go edit that out late from the previous episode. So yeah. I'm glad I make it happen. So, but super fun tournament. It doesn't need to be 11 rounds. I don't give a shit what anybody says. It does not need to be 11 rounds.
You're right. 13.
You can eat a dick, Connor.
All right.
But yeah, it was
15, 5 each day.
No.
Nice and easy, right?
Tyler, you don't want to do that shit.
I don't. I do not. I will not. So
yeah,
we could do 9 like LVO. They do 3 days with 3 each, right? Like we're not going to get to like 2,000 players or whatever we need for a true undefeated. Everyone, even like I think the winner overall had like 1 loss or something.
I think that
2. I think
as long as we,
it's a way I could check.
8 is more than plenty for a true winner.
I mean, even the thing about LVO and they're like Joshua was 2-7 or 7-2, excuse me, or 9-2. I can do math.
It's fucking hard.
He did have 2 losses.
I know, never forget.
My only thing with like LVO and doing 3-3-3 is that you're in Vegas. You're not in Tacoma.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So, and downtown Tacoma seems pretty cool. Like,
people shit on Tacoma, and I don't doubt that probably before I was born, because it was a city in the 80s, it had some rough spots, but every time I've gone, minus that one section of the highway that goes over the weed shop, it's totally fine.
Honestly, downtown Spokane seems to have more going on than downtown Tacoma.
You know what the thing is though, is downtown Tacoma is really nice. There's just nobody there. But I think that like, we're in the summer. Like my hotel was basically squished between my hotel and the convention center was the University of Washington Tacoma campus.
Yeah.
And so I walked through there every day, like going back and forth to the convention center, and it seemed really nice, but there was nobody there. Nobody's in school.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Like if it's a school area, then for sure.
Yeah. I mean, imagine if you get there in like, April or May or something before school gets out, that it's got a lot more energy to that downtown area, but pretty nice though.
Also, I bet most people, like, it was World Cup weekend, especially Sunday, so I bet most people probably weren't like in the more exposition area of downtown Tacoma. They were probably farther north where I think a lot of the bars are and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do have to one of my the awesomest way to start the day when I'm like checking out of my hotel on Sunday is I go to my car and I go to put my shit in my car and I click the little clicker thing and it doesn't do anything. And I click it again, it doesn't do anything, like not even beeping at me, not unlocking. Yeah, my car was like dead battery.
Oh,
like, yeah, it's got one of the auto hatches on the back. And I think that what happens if something gets stuck in that, it'll close and it'll tell you it's closed and it'll tell you it's locked, but then it just spends until you come back to the car, like trying to close it and just drains the battery. So, but got it. Super nice guy. I ran into some players in the elevators that were going to 40K, and a Chaos Knights guy came up in his like Toyota Scion and gave me a jump. Drove it down the street, parked it, let it run for like 5 minutes because that's about all the time I had. Came back at lunch, dead again. So Zach was nice enough to come down, disregarding dice. Zach was nice enough to come down, and he had one of those like USB chargers, like car chargers.
That thing looked suspicious when me and Zarin pulled up. It
looked a lot like a flashlight.
It really did. Me and Zarin both were like, "What are they doing to fix that car?" Like,
you gotta
it was that manual charger. So
yeah.
And the thing that sucked is we had to take turns using it too.
Yeah. Oh man, I hate this conversation.
Big to activate.
Yeah. But so that was my grand tournament there.
Most importantly, nice Chuck, did you buy anything else beyond the?
I did. I got new Tacoma. Same shirt. It says 2026 this year.
It's a different background though, so that's fun.
No, it's not. It's the same background, isn't it? I think it's just a different color.
It might be a different color then. I know it's a different color. I didn't look at the picture because you know me.
It's still got the Drukari here. Tyler.
Yeah, that's a different color. It was purple last year.
Yeah. But most importantly, another black tea for the black tea god.
I got myself a Blood Bowl ball.
Have you been sleeping with that, like as your pillow?
Yeah. Nice. So, yeah. Great tournament. Super fun. Like I loved seeing people. Like
it's so fun to catching up with everyone because like it's a great time.
Yeah. Max came and hung out with us on Saturday. She had a painting class, and so got to hang out with her for a while that weekend. Livy was there. She'd put even more paint on her. Tyler, I don't know if you saw her mandrakes.
Yeah, I did. They weren't quite done before.
Added even more to them since the Cascade Clash. Brandon Bean, Ivan Small, Matt Small, Ivan Small, by the way. So if you want to go
through the results.
Go through the results. So leading the way in 33rd place, Chuck Pepper.
Nice.
Yeah.
Chuck, well done. You have far more wins this Tacoma Open than I did.
I do actually.
You also have far more losses though, so it's
actually not really. How many did you? What was your record for 40K?
Like 1 and 2, I guess. But I mean, in terms of kill,
3 more losses. So, so number 1, Jeshua the Kid Kelly. So, Raveners, he went 9 and 2. So already had a golden ticket because he won Palm Springs Open.
Way to go.
And in second place,
Mr. Tanner
Sorensen. Yeah,
let's go, Tanner. Cool dude. Very glad he was able to get that golden ticket.
Well deserved.
Yeah.
Too. So
so golden ticket, and actually since Jesh had won Palm Springs Open, the flight passes down to him. It sounds like too. So,
That's sick.
Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah.
So again with Raveners as well too. In third place, Connor's new crush Adrian Bonvento with Raveners. In fourth place, Naomi Chen, fantastic player.
She's like
with
relatively
Raveners.
New too. I think she's only been playing Kill Team
yeah.
like less than a year. So seriously impressive work, Naomi.
She kicked me ass. She kicked my ass at
One of Beans.
One of Beans, yeah.
At Clash, wasn't she?
She was. I think she lost to Brandon in the final game. I think,
yeah,
and then which had a chance to win that there. So,
in
fifth place, James Hershey here with Raveners, and then Chad Morris came in at 6 with Mandrakes. Brandon Bean came in at 7 with his Murder Wing, and then Ivan Small, local guy down here too, one of our commissars, rules guy, at 8 with Murder Wing, and got best overall actually too. Ivan's got a ticket to Barcelona as well too.
Well deserved too. Ivan is just like a killer part of the community. Him and Matt have been there from day one, basically. Always helping out. They're always like the first to show up, but the last to leave. And always great to hang out with too. Love those dudes.
Yeah.
So
they both Ivan and Matt and Tanner were people that came down to the last tournament we did, came in early to help us set up boards when we were in Mox a couple of months ago. Just fantastic player. Awesome to see Ivan take that down, and he's got a ticket to Barcelona too. Have to highlight too, Zach won bracket 2 essentially too with Celestians. Went looks like 8-3. And then in bracket 4, top of bracket 4 was CB. So had I won, well, bracket 3, I guess there's no bracket 2 for some reason. It's championship bracket, weird. And then it goes 3-4. But CB with the win over me took that bracket. So, but it's a fantastic time. So, as much as I didn't want to play 11 rounds, I really wanted to be there. So, and Tyler,
I regret not going. So, not planning better. I'm buying my ticket right away when it comes up next year for the hobby stuff. Probably, unless they're doing, we'll see. We'll see what they're doing next year.
Next year, there's going to be a Mechanicus team. I'm manifesting it. I've hired the Etsy wishes. So
it's Dark Mechanicum.
Whatever. I will play Mechanicum or Mechanicus. As long as it's not just boring-ass servitors, I will be there. And I'm going to get good and do better than Chuck, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. What a thrilling time you guys had. I'm super jealous. I didn't even have to do like the work that I was supposed to do. Like that was really keeping
that
me.
Sucks.
Like I have to do it next week. I have 6 days in a row to close down the plant and then do like a huge project after. So I had to do like some different work, but like, I didn't even. So next year I'm buying my ticket right away. I'm booking the hotel in the fucking hotel with all the fucking weirdos that normally stay there, I'm doing the full experience next year. If anyone wants to be my roomie, and I know you, hit me up early.
You missed out on the commie room or whatever that Jeremy had. Well,
Jeremy's room.
That.
Absolutely. Yeah. So
we did see
could have been our room, Jeremy. Could have been our room, comrade. So thank you guys so much for listening. We really appreciate it. This has kind of been not really that long, actually, kind of average length for us.
That's what she said.
Absolutely, perfectly normal length show here. We really appreciate you guys. Make sure that you check us out on Instagram at Vox Cascadia. You can check me out at Lowbrow Minis, Connor at Spanaway, Chuck at Painting Cave Minis. You can also check us out at Patreon and Vox Cascadia Podcast. Or on YouTube, we are Vox Cascadia also. I got some new shirts dropping in the near future. I just commissioned another one, even though I have two designs sitting in my back pocket. So be watching out for that. Vote for what class I'm going to play in Dark Tide is going to go up tomorrow night, and then we'll decide on a time after that. And then we also we need community feedback from patrons on what model I'm going to be painting, because I need to get started on that for CritCon.
Yeah, me too.
To paint. So, anyways, thank you all for listening one more time. We love you. Good night.
Real quick before I'm going to make you sign off again. The Excites rules came out this week. We'll go over those next week when the full rules reveal come out, because there's too much we don't.
Oh my
Remember
God,
when there was like team rules that were just you get a free fucking dash and not
pivot,
five fucking separate images, man. What are we doing here?
Absolutely, this is gonna be a fucking train wreck. This is
Great models.
Great models. They may have lost the plot here. We may have mounted the dino, jumped the shark, whatever you want to call it.
Isn't it mounting the dinos one of Chuck's like weird books he wants us to read?
No, that was the taken by the Tyrannid.
Sorry. My bad. The sequel is mounting the dinos.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think Chuck Tingle has written a Velociraptor fantasy book. So if you're into that, Chuck Tingle's apparently a really good author also.
That's what the ladies call me.
Do they?
Sorry, Tyler, do it again.
Right. Love you. Good night.